Line up, you f***ing nerds. Who wants a shot at the champ?
They bring the heat.
Francis Ngannou is the hardest puncher in the history of fighting.
They bring the knowledge.
If you think this fight is going 5 rounds, you are out of your mind.
They bring you the picks.
The dog is getting it done in this one.
We deliver every single week. We're bringing the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
The money line.
Don't miss it on the MMA Experts channel each week. The Money Line. We are live. We got a true late night show for you guys today. 12:15 a.m. Eastern time, 9:15 p.m. Pacific time for the Finch man. Breaking down.
I just woke up, bro. This morning for me, bro. I haven't even had breakfast yet.
Oh, well, good morning to Mike Finch.
Thank you.
UFC Saudi Arabia card going down. Finch man, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm good, buddy. Tons going on, man. Mike Perry versus fucking Jake Paul. Switching matchups left and right. I mean, everything in MMA and the combat sports world is moving. ADCC versus Craig Jones Invitational. I mean, there's just so much going on right now. It's a good time to be a fight fan. I
agree. Listen, I'm excited for what's going down this Saturday. Obviously, too, bare knuckle is going to be pretty lit. So a lot of good stuff this week for combat sports fanatics. I'm excited to break down this card for sure. But before we do, we got to shoot some praise to Tatsuro Taira for his win over Alex Perez. It was a very unique move that he used to pull Perez down and in turn ends up ripping up Perez's knee with it. I don't know the exact name of the move. I don't know if you know it either, Finch, but it's the fucking Taira specialty, man.
Yeah, it's a fucking body triangle, and he just leaned, It's just pulling him onto the ground with a body triangle. But the way he had the foot wrapped around the knee and the angle that he pulled at created that injury. The kid just gets to everybody's back, and he's running through all these Mexicans in the division. He is their kryptonite, man. So really, really special Japanese fighter there, and I think Tatsuro Taira looked very impressive.
I agree. I think he looked real good, and I actually am thinking we got to put him up against Brandon Royval next if it's not a title fight. How dope would that be?
Cinco de Mayo, put it in the sphere. I like it.
That's the fight. I mean, he could jump the line for a title shot just depending on availabilities, because I will assume Pantoja wants activity sooner rather than later, but we're going to have to wait and see with that. Either way, Vegas 93 delivered a good card. Big main event win for Tatsuro Taira. I really don't feel like breaking down the whole damn card, but quick shouts to Miles Johns, who had a pretty good breakout performance. That was dope. Asu Almabayev, who showcased, and this controversial fight. Also, Lucas Almeida's win over Kawamba. We'll give some special praise to Finch, man, for jumping on the underdog. Let's go.
All alone. Hey, thank you for that. Speaking of the Cinco de Mayo card, did you see that Dominic Cruz called out Henry Cejudo for it?
I think that's a perfect fight.
It's kind of a good fight.
Run it back. Why not run it back? The last one was a little bit of an early stoppage. I want to see who takes it for real.
I like that. At this point in their career, those guys will throw down. Somebody's finishing somebody. That'll be a good fight.
I like it a lot. Well, guys, we want to get into this card. It's the UFC Saudi Arabia debut. But before we do, we want to give you guys an update. The Bare Knuckle Bet Show is back. So if you guys are on the BKFC app, if you've seen us before, me and Mike Finch host BK Bets, and we drop our picks for the BKFC cards. And officially, the show is back for all numbered events. So make sure you run over there and check the boys out.
Do it. Man, it's super fun calling the BKFC fights with you again. I know all of you love betting on UFC fights, and it is fantastic, but some of the best bets are those bare knuckle fights, so it's always fun to do it, man. Glad we're back at it.
Yes, sir. Listen, let's jump right into things. If you guys have not, smash the like button, and if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe it up. We got Long Xiao and Chang Ho Lee. This will be our road to UFC Bantamweight Championship. I think Chang Ho Lee's the better wrestler, even though Long Xiao definitely has a gas tank and a half and can scrap for sure. I'm not overly enthused about his game. I think that he kind of sits his head too close into the pocket. I think he's got some flaws to him that he makes up with for, freakish physicality, absolute grit, and just the overall scrappy style. But I feel like Lee's probably going to have successful wrestling moments in the fight. I think he'll garner some control time. I expect it to be a close 3-round fight where I favor Lee on the scorecard. So I am going with him to be the road to UFC champ.
I'll go Lee on the scorecards as well, and I think he's a slight dog, and he's just fought better competition. Like, his opponent has over twice as many fights, but look at the competition he's facing. I like the trajectory of Lee's career. He's 30 years old. He's in his prime right now. Let's go with him, man. He decides where the fight takes place. I think, 3 out of 3 rounds, at least 2 out of 3, give him the decision.
Odds for the fight do have Lee as an underdog. -108 dog status for him, with long Xiao at -112. So essentially even lines between these two. If it were to go over 2.5, it's -200. Listen, I know it's debuting guys, so there's risk in betting that side. But if you're looking for valuable money line, something that you can touch straight up,
right,
Lee is live to win it. And as an ever so slight underdog, I don't think it's a bad call.
There are so many good fights on this card. There are so many fun ones that I just want to put a couple bucks on just to get a little more into, right? There are so many great matchups. So, I'll hold my bets on this one, but I like Lee. I'm doubling up with you, man. I see the same thing you see. We were talking about before we went live. I mean, this card is so well matched. There are just some fun fights to look forward to, man. Definitely one of my most anticipated cards of the year. Don't sleep on this one.
Let's keep running up. Our next fight on the card, we have Gadzhiyasulov versus Ribeiro. Magomed Gadzhiyasulov is a winner from Contender Series, as is Brenson Ribeiro. Gadzhiyasulov has extremely good technical skills. There's something about his style that is like reminiscent of somebody that can make his way up the ranks. He picks his shots extraordinarily well. He's extremely well-rounded. I'm not going to say he's similar to Magomed Ankalaev, but like you can see my comparisons with simply being not necessarily a safety-first fighter, but a guy that can outpoint opponents, pick shots, mix in takedowns, and do it all pretty damn nicely. Whereas Brenson Ribeiro's style is ballistic power. That's it. He's going to sit in the pocket and he's going to mix up shots. Last time against Miang Zhang, it cost him and he was knocked out in the first round. But the knockout touch is a gift. And if he touches the chin of anybody at light heavyweight, I think he could put him down because he definitely hits hard and he does throw caution to the wind. It's just Gadzhiyasulov is so much more schooled than him. And I also think Gadzhiyasulov's team is going to bring together a high IQ fight plan. Like, sure, sitting in the pocket and trying to knock Ribeiro out, it's possible he could do it, but could also get him caught with something stupid. And I think that there is a high probability that Gadzhiyasulov shows us his takedown game in this fight. Now, it's not that Ribeiro has awful takedown defense. It's that I expect Gadzhiyasulov's striking threat and then a well-timed takedown to put Ribeiro on his back as potentially something that he mixes in here. I could see him knocking Ribeiro out too, but like there's a weird inkling I have that he takes it to the floor and uses some wrestling here to out-grapple Ribeiro a bit, wear him down. He might even pull off a submission, which would be pretty wild, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility because if you have Ribeiro, this heavy-handed brawler on the other side, does he want to sit and mix it up striking? Definitely, if he does strike, I'm expecting him trying to use kickboxing from range. Like sitting in the pocket against Ribeiro, I don't care how slick you might think you are. It's a bad idea. Ribeiro hits really fucking hard, and he also has really long arms too. So Ribeiro's kind of a wild card in striking. So I just have an inkling that Gadzhiyasulov may show us some wrestling in this fight.
I've got this feeling that Ribeiro is going to knock his block off, dude. I mean, Ribeiro hits so hard, and this guy is gun shy. You know, if you watch his fights, he has been backed up. He has been put on the fence a lot. He does put the car in reverse, and, you know, on the fence with Ribeiro, man, it takes one shot. So it's a tough one for me. I'm on the fence about it, and then while you're talking, literally while you're talking, I pull up the odds, 3-1, 4-1 dog for Ribeiro. I might have to, dude. I mean, again, I'm on the fence about it because Gadzhiyasulov probably is better at wrestling. Doesn't probably have to be better at jiu-jitsu since Ribeiro's no jiu-jitsu ace. Ribeiro's a knockout puncher. But on the feet, I think Ribeiro's going to do fine. Here's my issue. Here's my factor, right? It's a Saudi card. So would you take the Russian or would you take the Brazilian? I think the Russian has a lot better adjustment, to the time zone and everything. Like, how long has Ribeiro been out there? A lot of X factors. Fuck it. I'll break my own rule, okay? I'm breaking my own rule once. 3-1's crazy. Ribeiro's got a better shot than that. Knockout.
Ribeiro by KO is all the way up at plus 650. Whereas you look at Gadzhiyasulov, he's minus 310, the favorite, with Ribeiro's money line at plus 260. I get where your head's at, man. It's very interesting because though Gadzhiyasulov has exceptional technical skills, I wasn't overly impressed with the Jose Medina fight, nor was I overly impressed with the fight before that against Mohammed Saeed Malim over in Brave. He's a very much somewhat of a point fighting style. And then you dig into previous matchups. I mean, he was essentially a can crusher all the way up. I'm going to be picking Gadzhiyasulov, but I really do believe that a bet on Ribeiro by knockout is not a bad idea, especially if you're thinking to really go ballistic. Ribeiro by first round KO all the way up at plus 1200.
Jeez.
But then I have a thought that crossed my mind. Gadzhiyasulov, high IQ'd game plan, probably pulls together a nice win. I don't know, man. He's training with good guys. He's at the same team as Aliskerov, Shamil Gaziev, Mokayev, and those. So you get what I mean, right? It's like I'm assuming they wrestle. To be honest, I think that
I'm assuming
you're trying to strike with Ribeiro is a bad idea. You know what also is interesting too? When you look at the striking, with Ribeiro's wingspan, he's 6'3", he's an inch taller, and he's got an 81-inch reach. He's got 5.5 inches in fucking reach.
Yeah. That's how he catches people, man.
It's worrisome. And Ribeiro's younger with more pro fights.
I mean, first round's the way to go if you're going Ribeiro. That knockout prop, what you just read me, was ridiculous. I could see the Russian winning the fight, but it's like leg kicks and movement, maybe a couple key takedowns if he can get them. I think he's probably a better kicker. But just the way he was gun shied, and like when you're in there with a beast like Ribeiro, there's a knockout risk, and it's very real. My issue is, does Ribeiro gas because it's in Saudi Arabia and he just flew out yesterday, So look at shit like that before going crazy on this one. Interesting fight, just like a lot of these on the card. Interesting one. The odds are too wide for my taste. That's why I went wild and went Ribeiro.
Listen, I'm thinking the way you could put it is Gadzhiyasulov might be in a parlay, but you have a light hedge towards Ribeiro by KO. Yeah, I'm with you, AJ. I think that the first round prop on Ribeiro is interesting. If you guys are going to fuck around, you might as well, right? Gadzhiyasulov could just end up on getting walked back to that fence and clipped. I mean, there's a chance, folks. There's a chance. We'll see. Let's keep running up the card. Next fight, we have Muin Gafurov versus Kang. I'm thinking that Kang is going to win this fight, man. Gafurov has essentially proven nothing as far as being like high caliber UFC. Now, it's not that Kang's the highest caliber, but he's been in the promotion since 2013. He has a shitload of experience. He's got solid jiu-jitsu. It's not like he's an awful wrestler either. He's got a big length advantage in this fight. Gafurov's 0-2 in the UFC, and now he's taking on Kang, who's been here a long time. Like, I know we're over in Saudi Arabia, so, right, it would have to favor the Muslim fighter in Gafurov, but this is an OV that I'm picking against. I think Kang goes out there in competitive fashion, gets his hand raised on the scorecards, man. Gafurov, a few fights back, he's losing to Chad Anheliger, and it's not that Anheliger's bad. Anheliger's a scrappy dude for sure, but to not pick Kang is just crazy to me. I'm going Kang as a dog.
Damn. Kang, dog money. Wow. Gafurov got guillotined by freaking Said Nurmagomedov, though. Like
that was way too much of a competition jump. I'm thinking more of the Castaneda fight.
Yeah, got you. Well, Castaneda, and Kang fought as well, and that was only in 2023. So, damn, why are these fights so well matched, dude? We've been talking Kang for a long time. I mean, he's a true UFC veteran. He's obviously been there, done that. Hopefully he knows his body well enough to get to Saudi Arabia soon. I swear it's a big deal. Guys, when Islam Makhachev goes out to the Middle East, you know, a month out, 2 months out, I believe it was 2 months when he fought Charles the first time. They do that because they understand it is desert, brother. That's what Khabib told me at Bellator in the videos on my Instagram, on my YouTube as well. It's desert, brother. You know, it's a different type of heat. So if Kang's flying in and Gafurov's not, that is a real factor. And especially when these fights are close like this, fuck, man. I think that Gafurov should do fine on the feet. Probably a close decision. Give me Gafurov. I don't think he's knocking Kang out. But, you know, I don't think he's going to, you know, I think he could win 2 and 3 because Kang gasses a little bit. Same thing I'm worried about with Ribeiro and a lot of these guys traveling far.
Odds have Gafurov is -160 with Kang at +140. Over 2.5 is -180. I got a good feeling about that over. I think that's fairly likely here. Though Kang does have a lot of wins by submission, I mean, for the most part, he's the king of those split decisions a lot of the time.
I could easily imagine this thing being a split decision. Definitely a no bet for me, folks, especially on this card.
Yeah, man. Over 2.5, I think, is not awful at -180. But yeah, it's, I don't know. Kang's 8-4 in the UFC. I got to give him some respect for the record.
Okay.
Whereas Gafurov 0-2. So we'll see. I'm going vet with Kang. Finchman going with the OV. Gafurov. Let's keep running up. Next fight on the card, we have Rinat Fakhretdinov versus Nicolas Dalby. Dalby's a fucking savage, man. I got to give praise, but I think this is where the underdog train comes to a halt. Rinat Fakhretdinov is pretty damn solid, bro. Like, I know he's got the draw to Zaleski last time, so it's easy to jump and write him off, but wrestling game is really good. Sniper striking style. I think he can put Dalby on his back if they tie up. A big factor for Dalby winning these fights is he has a physicality edge over a lot of these guys, just being able to brutally close the gap, body them in the inside, throw hard shots, and make it nasty. I just think Fakhretdinov's a little too slick, a little too skilled, and a little too mean, bro, a little too dangerous. I think Fakhretdinov's got the goods to get him. Dalby's tough as they come, though. So Fakhretdinov by decision, like he bodied Brian Battle with the wrestling for 3 rounds. I could see it being more competitive than that, but I think Fakhretdinov landing takedowns gets him a win.
Did you enjoy watching Fakhretdinov get flying triangle choked by Craig Jones?
You know, I thought he was doing great in that match up until then, though. He was tough against Craig Jones, though. He didn't do bad. Fair
enough. Yeah, got to respect it. Got to respect it. I mean, Craig could have picked the submission. I mean, if he really wanted to leg lock him, you know.
Yeah.
But he did. He went for the flying triangle. It was pretty cool. Fakhretdinov is very different from Gabriel Bonfim, but how impressive was Nicolas Dalby taking out fucking Bonfim? Was that not dope? That was really good. And he's coming off of that performance. And you're going to tell me he's big dog money? It's like, fuck, man. I think just throwing parlays on the OVs could come back to bite you this card, guys. I saw somebody drop that in the chat earlier. Sorry, I can't give you a direct shout out. I'm not going to go find it. But it's like, you know, just straight betting OVs on this card. Like, the one thing they got going for him is location. Send location. But Dalby's a warrior. And Fakhretdinov is going to have his hands full. How am I going to pick against Fakhretdinov? It's a much different type of a matchup. Fakhretdinov decides where the fight takes place. He should be able to strike with Dalby and hold his own. He's tough. He's durable. I think Fakhretdinov edges out a decision against a very tough end game Nicolas Dalby.
I like it, man. I think it is similar to what you said. I think it's a harder fight than the odds will have you believe. -350 for Fakhretdinov, Dalby +285. Probably going over at -200. And then Fakhretdinov by a decision is +100. I feel like he's live to another. The fucking odds suck, bro. That's just simply put, the odds suck.
Joel, he also flying triangled Fakhretdinov. Check it out. Karate Combat, y'all. Some people got Dalby, bro. The money's looking good. You know,
I respect the Dalby.
No odds considered. Fucking maybe you touch this one. It's a fight for sure. You know, I if this is past 2-1, like, it's too wide.
See, Fakhretdinov is the reason why I didn't hit 10 locks in a row last year. So I'll tell you now, I'm not locking Fakhretdinov. But I do think he should win. I really do. I think Fakhretdinov's going to put Dalby on his back. I think Dalby's going to be strong, though. He'll give him some trouble. The only worry with Fakhretdinov is really going to be what happens when he puts Dalby on his back, wins the first round, puts Dalby on his back, wins the second, comes out in the third and can't take him down. And then Dalby's dropping some fucking haymakers. So then shit can get scary. I think Fakhretdinov pulls through, but this is the be-all test. Like, I'll be honest, the winner of this fight, gets a bit of a jump. If Dalby wins, it's rankings here on out. If Fakhretdinov wins, I'll assume something similar for him. But Dalby's definitely better than the odds are going to have you believe in. It's like he's consistently a damn underdog. But it's just Fakhretdinov was supposed to be that guy. I guess I still have some hype on Fakhretdinov. I was saying some crazy shit before his last fight finish. I was saying I think he's going to be ranked. He's going to be top guy. He's going to be in the top 10. And then he drawed with Zaleski. So, like,
Zaleski's good.
Zaleski's good. Dalby beat Zaleski, though.
Yeah,
Back,
fair.
but
Dalby's in this fight, man. We're
Dalby's
hyping up Dalby. Should we just flip to Dalby? Is that what we should do right now?
All right, so I'm not suggesting a flip to him, but if he wins, it's not one of those picks where I'm going to say no.
I would not be shocked.
Way.
And again, with the fucking odds. So
yeah, the odds suck.
All the best, folks. If you're going Dalby, power to you. Just remember, this is the Middle East. This is, Abu Dhabi. Khabib missed weight against Gaethje. How much funny shit you need to see? So something.
And we're in Saudi. We never even been to Saudi. Who knows what the scorecard's going to look like?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, understand.
Maybe it's the Crown Prince fucking keeping score. Who knows?
Maybe
who they got over there. I don't know.
Fakhretdinov is our pick. Be wary on this one because the odds, they tell a different story than the reality. Let's keep running. Next fight. This one here is a short notice edition. This is the first time that I'm going to be breaking this one down. Mohamed Naimov versus Felipe Lima. I like Lima a lot. From what I saw, Lima, I said, good UFC signing. What I don't like is he's a bantamweight moving up to 145 against Naimov, who's an experienced vet at this point, 3-0 in the UFC. Has some legit knockout power in his hands, knocked out Jamie Malarkey up a weight class. And he seems to be gotten, a good role going for himself. And then add into it, Lima, not only is he coming out on short notice, but he's also against, the hometown guy. Not that he's necessarily from Saudi, but another Muslim fighter. And you remember Naimov versus Nathaniel Wood? You remember that fight with the cage grabs and a little bit of controversy, right? There were some things that weren't called. And I'm thinking Naimov is going to win this fight by a decision. I think Lima's going to be game. I think he's going to be gutsy. He's got good jiu-jitsu. He trains with Alan Nascimento. His ground skills are good. And I think bright future at 135 pounds. But he's only 26, 3 inches shorter, coming in on short notice. He did have a fight scheduled for July 20th. He was preparing actually for a rematch against the guy he won the Octagon belt against a year ago. He hasn't fought in about 11 months, but I expect him to be in shape. Young dude with a lot of drive and seems to have some goods, man. I like the skills. It's like if Lima was a natural 45er and this was a full camp fight, we're having a different conversation. But I do have to take into consideration that size difference. And it's not like Naimov is a guy that has a lacking wrestling or jiu-jitsu game. And he also has the punching power. So I think that Naimov gets a hard-fought win over this short notice Lima.
Yeah, the weight class really matters, and especially since it's short notice, right? I like that you pointed out that he was getting ready for July. I didn't actually know that. I thought he just completely got off the couch or was afraid he might have gotten off the couch. So that's interesting that he's in a bit of shape, but moving up from 35 to 45 matters. If you got a heavyweight who's 10 pounds heavier, that doesn't mean much, right? Yeah. But if you at these lighter weight classes, that's a real difference when you lock your hands around somebody's hips and you're trying to drag them onto the ground, or you're trying to lock up a submission in a competitive MMA fight at this level. Like, yeah, the weight classes really do mean something. And so Lima stepping up is ballsy, but maybe a little crazy. I think Naimov can grind out a decision here, land some big shots on the feet, get this thing on the scorecards. Like you said, though, Lima, an impressive prospect. So it could be a fun fight.
It's a great signing, great fight. It's just 3 days notice is going to be hard, man. I think Naimov
is insane. 3 days? That's insane. 3 days.
I was picking Naimov against Malsik Bagdasaryan, but you want to know something crazy, Finch? Odds for this fight are going to blow your mind right now. Naimov currently sitting at -110. Lima -110. Even odds.
Wow.
Even odds for a guy coming in on 3 days notice, up a weight
They
class.
really think that Lima's that much better then, because 3 days notice and a weight class up.
But at open,
And in
Naimov was
Saudi,
-250. There's a lot of dog love on Lima.
this might be a touch for Naimov. This might be a touch.
I think if you're looking at seeing how the line is flipped, and if you're looking at UFC experience as a factor, naturally bigger guy, I mean, I think Naimov is a very live, even money call. Like, this could be a very valuable money line. If you're looking for just valuable line, especially at open -250, a lot of intangibles favor Naimov. Even if this fight was Lima on a full camp, you still have to take into consideration Naimov's the naturally bigger guy. But now you got 3 days to come in, and he's an even money call. That's really confusing to me, man. Unless this guy's like the second coming of greatness. Like, I don't know if he's the, supposed to be the next world champion or something. Like, I think he's got the goods, but I don't know, man. It's just hard to say. Even if he is the next world champ, to beat Naimov on 3 days notice, Naimov's solid, man. No, Naimov's not an easy fight for anybody in the featherweight division.
Interesting one. Interesting how these odds are working out, man. They put this one even.
Weird.
Yeah. Give me the guy on a full camp who's a weight class heavier.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same. Now, if you're thinking about betting this one, I think Finchman and I both agree. Just go down the line. You can't really, I mean, you can get plus money, but you can't get better than -110 Naimov, essentially, right? Like, it's shocking to see how close these odds are. I don't think you need to fuck around and try to chase a prop or anything like that. I think there's value on the money line. This is a most valuable money line type of call.
100%. Yeah, I would not touch a prop on this. You'd be crazy to touch a prop on this. On even odds?
Yeah.
Come on, folks. It's probably going long anyway.
Let's go. Let's keep running up. Next fight on the card, we have Nasrat Haqparast versus Jared Gordon. I like this fight, man. I've jumped on and off of the Nasrat train for a while, but when you take into consideration the dude is literally 28 years old, so his development is 100%, coming along. And then you look at his recent wins, especially last one, he really destroyed Jamie Malarkey. Decision win before that. Granted, like, the Christian Quinones fight, I actually didn't like for Haqparast. I didn't think he was that impressive there. So, comparing him to that one, it's like, Jared Gordon's a tricky style match. Jared Gordon can box, he can wrestle, but I do think Haqparast probably wins a decision here. But it's one of those fights where the odds are, again, very wide. I mean, you got Nasrat Haqparast sitting at, what, -240 against Jared Gordon, who arguably beat Paddy Pimblett?
Come on.
Right?
Yeah, he got it.
The odds suck here, but I do think Nasrat, high fight IQ guy, good striking, kind of like a good stylistic matchup. Nasrat can potentially pull through a decision. I'm thinking it goes over.
I don't know how much beating Paddy Pimblett means. I mean, I don't
either. I don't either.
That's Paddy's that good. This is not the old Jared Flash Gordon. My man has gotten better, Look at him in the Paddy fight. Look at him against Mark Madsen, absolutely dominating the fight. I mean, he's got some, he was training with Bilal Muhammad. I remember cornering him in the Paddy Pimblett fight. Whatever's going on, he definitely got better. So it makes this a fight for sure. Haqparast has gotten better too. That Jamie Malarkey performance was sick. He's definitely coming to his own with his striking. I really feel like he's on another level with it too. So both of these guys are surging. Both of these guys are very, very in interesting spots in their career, right? Give me Nasrat Haqparast. I believe in the hands. I believe in the overall striking game. Gordon likes to keep his hands pretty tight. And for mixed martial arts, I think Nasrat can sneak a couple through, hurt him, maybe finish him. Gordon is, not the easiest to finish, but I think Haqparast is on one right now. Give me Haqparast with like a late KO.
Late KO, damn. I was actually in the over 2.5 at -210 was the goods here, bro.
Third round, I think you could find some shots and put him away. Jamie Malarkey's more vulnerable than Jared Gordon is, but Jared Gordon's easier to find. And I think he's game. I think he will strike and engage with Haqparast, and that might be a problem.
Yeah, interesting call. All right. I mean, I think Nasrat's got this. I think he's a pretty quality pick. And
Now you're
going
gonna tell me he's a 5-1 favorite. Go ahead.
No, he's not, bro. He's minus 240. It's not a bad line.
Yeah.
For a 28-year-old tri-star guy. I got faith that Haqparast is coming together. I mean, bro, like something we got to say about Nasrat Haqparast, which shouldn't really be under the radar, is, I mean, if you look at the resume, he's fought some fucking studs, bro. Drew Dober, Dan Hooker, Bobby Green. I mean, obviously all of those are losses, but pretty solid competition.
Gordon's fought Bobby Green, you know.
Gordon
fought Grant Dawson. You know, Gordon's got experience too. Yeah, I said these guys are in interesting spots in their career. They're both kind of, you know, they're getting better at this moment. So this will be a cool fight.
Yeah, let's go. Let's see what goes down. We're both going Nasrat Haqparast to close out the prelims. Let's jump to our main card opener. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you smash the hell out of the like button and subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't yet. I'm actually closing in on 33,000 subscribers, bro. I was like 18 away when I last checked. So we're getting close.
Check it.
Check it out. Johnny Walker versus Volkan Oezdemir. Ooh, this one was one of my more confusing picks, bro, because so during my breakdown on Sunday, originally I was on Oezdemir, and then during the breakdown, I said, no, I'm flipping right now. Johnny Walker is going to knock him out. I'm going against what I originally wrote down.
Now you're going back.
I'm sticking with Walker. I like Walker's size in this fight. I like his athleticism, his physicality. I think he could knock Volkan Oezdemir out, man. And I know Walker at times has looked a little bit chinny. I get the worry. And Oezdemir's not a chinny guy. It's just, I think Walker's freaky, man. Big power with Johnny Walker, catches him with a huge shot, drops Oezdemir. Volkan Oezdemir is there to be hit. I think Johnny Walker's still pretty damn good. And regardless of his loss to Magomed Ankalaev, we have seen an evolved version of Johnny Walker. And I think the skill set that he has today is good enough to take out Volkan Oezdemir, man. So yeah. I'm going with Johnny Walker, bro.
Johnny Walker's a wild man, which gets him a bad rap as far as reliability is concerned. But my man is just so much more dangerous than Oezdemir. You know, he's so much more dangerous. He's so much more capable of finishing a fight at any moment. You never know what the fuck the strike's going to be, right? And it's easy to get on him about not being fundamental and technical, but he knocks fundamental and technical guys out. He does it all the time. And what, his loss against Ankalaev, arguably the best light heavyweight in the world, is the problem? Like, nah, man, he's up there. So I think he knocks Oezdemir out. I do. I got Johnny Walker.
You know what? I think there's value, Johnny Walker, even money, but it is a bit of a coin flip fight. Minus 110 for both guys. So even down the line. Can I ask you this, Finch? I saw the question by Useless in the chat. Over or under 1.5 rounds? Scary for me.
It's a Johnny Walker fight.
I don't even want to touch that. Fuck that.
Ulysses, like, bro, like, you're gonna bet on. Hang on, I'm bringing him up because since you called him out, like, bro, you're gonna, or is that a girl? What am I looking at? Is that a dude with long hair or a girl? You're gonna bet on the over under on a Johnny Walker fight? Like, you want to, why don't you just roll the dice? Just go to the craps table at that point. Like, Johnny Walker throws shit. You know, you get in on a single leg on him, he is going to bash your head in. Like, the man is extremely unpredictable. So betting the over under on a Johnny Walker fight is like playing Russian roulette. Just don't do it.
Walker by KO, yes or no? Plus 230. Interesting prop.
Interesting. Definitely interesting, because that's his method of victory, right? You wouldn't expect him to like grind out a decision. Although Oezdemir, hard to finish, does go to decision, right? So Volkan surviving, you know, every time I don't want to keep always saying it, but you know, I like Moneyline, guys.
Yeah, Moneyline's the A side. That's why the show's Moneyline, not the prop bet. Let's go. Let's go. Let's keep running up. Both of us going Walker here. Our next fight, Sharapudin Magomedov versus Antonio Trócoli.
You already got Trócoli grayed out. Like, he just got knocked out.
I grayed him out. That's it. I grayed him out. It's actually because they only had the pick from Contender Series. He's out. Magomedov for the win. There's not really much argument. I mean, Trócoli is supposed to fight everybody. His fights have fallen out. Last week, he's supposed to co-main event against Aliskerov. Now he takes this fight on 3 days' notice against Sharapudin. Earlier today, this fight got announced. if this fight even happens. I mean, I hope it does. I think Magomedov should knock Trócoli out. Trócoli stepping in for Jolton Luderback. Luderback actually tested positive for a banned substance in a urine test, so got pulled from the fight. It should be a Shara Bullet showcase, but got to accept Trócoli's or respect Trócoli's willingness to accept all these fights. I mean, he'll fight anybody. Badass.
Bro,
Yeah.
my man was 1,000-1 underdog against Ikram Aliskerov, and then they throw him against Shara Bullet. Like, damn, my man Trócoli's like, I don't care who it is. What did Khabib say? I'll fight King Kong if he can make 155 pounds. You know? Magomedov is going to get a crazy knockout, crazier than his right eyeball. My man is a great striker, piecing up Bruno Silva, even though we know Bruno Silva is excellent at striking. Magomedov is clean with it. I think he's going to feel, really, really comfortable in this fight. Props to Trócoli for taking it on short notice, but a hard adjustment to make too, going from Aliskerov, who also a good striker, but the threat of the wrestling is very real and has a unique style, all the way to Magomedov. Like, I feel like Magomedov is going to get this finish, man.
You know what? Let me tell you something crazy, though. -625, bro. You know what? It's a parlay only, and it's a parlay that you're looking to really extend some good shit. But I'll tell you something. Under 1.5 -150, I'm thinking is going to come to fruition. I think Trócoli's getting knocked out in the first round.
Yeah, that's possible for sure. Is this right? He's dating Mackenzie Dern? No, that's not true. Is Trócoli? No, they're tripping.
No,
you're tripping.
No way. He's dating Mackenzie Dern. Is that true?
No, Mackenzie Dern. I've seen her with her boyfriend. The guy's like freaking 7 feet tall. She's walking around with out here.
Now, wait, Trócoli's pretty tall though.
Is he?
Let me see something. Now I got to look into this.
No, he ain't that tall.
I don't believe it either. I don't know if it's true. That's crazy.
This dude Mackenzie's walking around with is not.
I think Magomedov chins Trócoli for sure.
I think he's just on the way up, and
yeah,
his last fight was scarier than this one, so he's got to be feeling happy about it, man. Trócoli is 6'5". That is pretty tall. Is he dating Mackenzie Dern? That would blow my mind.
Bro,
he is, says Ulysses. Oh shit!
Trócoli rear naked choke. That's it.
All right. Well, now it's over. Yeah, he's got the Mackenzie Dern jiu-jitsu.
Now I see why he's in the UFC. Now I see why he's here. All right, listen, I respect it, but come on, bro. Look at Shara Bullet. He looks like a fucking pirate. He's taking
when I saw Trócoli at the beach, I thought he was like a surfer. I thought he was like a pro surfer or something.
You saw him in real life. You didn't realize.
Yeah, right here, right at the beach.
That's funny as hell. Yeah, Trócoli's in the UFC, Mike Finch.
They were at the food trucks. Yeah, I saw him here over a few months ago.
That's funny as fuck.
A couple months ago. So yeah, shout out to Mackenzie Dern, somebody who's come by the show. I don't know if she was on the show, but she was on the show for a couple of minutes. So shout out to Mackenzie. Sorry, Mackenzie, your boyfriend's getting slept in Saudi Arabia.
Odds are very wide. You're in the -600 range, but under 1.5 might be interesting at -150. Shara Bullet should absolutely dominate. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card is our featured bout. We have Kelvin Gastelum versus D-Rod, Daniel Rodriguez. Damn, son. Kelvin Gastelum, it seems like a no-brainer. Kelvin Gastelum for the win, but you think about Gastelum last time, I mean, Sean Brady bodied him, but you don't have that same threat here with Daniel Rodriguez.
What would Sean Brady do with Rodriguez?
He'd body him. So give me Gastelum to win a decision. Gastelum's boxing is going to be on point. I think he can throw some good shots, land some clean straights. I think Rodriguez is okay in the stand-up too, though. It's just, I think Gastelum's actually quicker. And I feel like he ties up with him and presses him against the cage. I think Gastelum on the cards, dude. I don't think Gastelum's going to overly impress, though, but I think he wins.
All right. Listen up, folks. I'm a good guy to talk to about this fight. Why? Because Mr. D-Rod Rodriguez was doing some training over at UFC Gym Rosemead. One of my recovery specialists, personal trainer extraordinaire, Jesus Flores, was working on him. Is this too much information? I'll probably cut it right there. I know for sure that D-Rod was training in Thailand months ago. So I know that he was out there training. I know he was in Las Vegas. I had hired his striking coach, Manny. So Manny came by. There's that classic video where they're going out and Dana White's talking to him right after the Ian Gary fight and hyping him up a little bit after getting hurt like that. And, you know, so I've got to see some D-Rod up and close and see where he's at. He's a good striker. Kelvin Gastelum, I've been able to spar a few rounds with, you know, many days training over there at King's MMA. Kelvin Gastelum is going to be quicker. Kelvin Gastelum has seen tons and tons of world-class competition. We're talking about really competitive fight with Jared Cannonier, really competitive fight with fucking Israel Adesanya. I mean, the guy has seen a lot of opposition, a lot of great striking. I don't imagine anything that D-Rod's going to hit him with from training in Thailand with the Muay Thai that's going to surprise Kelvin. I'd prefer Kelvin be at like Fight Ready or King's MMA. I know he's been kind of training at this small gym with I'm forgetting his name right now. Not Fugit. Is it? He's been training at a smaller gym and kind of doing his own thing, getting ready for this fight. As long as Kelvin's in shape, I've seen him spar Marvin Vettori so many rounds over at King's MMA. Like, is anything that D-Rod gonna do that Marvin Vettori hasn't done? You see where I'm going with this? So, I believe that Kelvin Gastelum is more than prepared to get this W. And shout out to D-Rod. He's the man, but he was supposed to do an interview with me and canceled. So D-Rod, this is what you get. I'm taking my former training partner, the man, Kelvin Gastelum, and I do believe Kelvin 30-27's this fight.
I love the call. I think that's a perfect prediction. Gastelum, he's minus 240, the favorite. D-Rod plus 205. Like, everything I look at this fight, it just makes sense. Sensible odds, sensible matchup, over 2.5, minus 265, probably. Gastelum by decision, plus 100, probably. I think Gastelum lands cleaner shots, a little faster, like Finch said. You've seen him go side by side. You can compare them in your brain to a different level than I can because I've only seen them in the cage against one another. But I think Gastelum's got this shit, man.
Jay, I am 6 feet tall. Look me up on Tapology, bitch. I'm well taller than Kelvin Gastelum. I popped Kelvin with some jabs, kicked Kelvin in the head before. Kelvin's hit me with the hardest jab I've ever been hit with in my life. Kelvin's got a piston of a jab, and his fucking leg kicks can rip. He does not do it enough in UFC fights, but you'll see it in sparring. He sparred all those savages over at King's. I've seen him put rounds in with everybody from Verdum to fucking Giga Chikadze and RDA. He sparred all of them. So he's just seen so many of those high-level looks, AJ. I think he's going to feel comfortable here in this fight. I sparred Kelvin a couple rounds one night, and obviously he was working leg kicks as he was ripping him. And I get home and I just have these fucking bruises all over my legs. I look on his Instagram, and Kelvin's got ice bags on his shins from kicking my fucking legs all day.
That's funny as fuck.
So shit. I could imagine him getting the kicks going in this fight too, man. He doesn't have to worry about the takedown. If he gets a takedown, that's where this thing gets to being over.
What do you think about the southpaw versus southpaw side of this one?
Dope. Super dope. Shouldn't phase either of them too much to see southpaws. They've both seen them. They both fought them. Kelvin does well southpaw. I'm thinking we got a good call with Gastelum. I also want to read something off for you guys to get a reminder, because I don't know, there's like a y'all must have forgot moment. 4 fights ago, Kelvin Gastelum went 5 rounds with Robert Whittaker. The fight after that, he went rounds with Jared Cannonier. Was it 5 rounds or was it fucking 3? Let me double check. I feel like it was 5. 5 rounds with Jared Cannonier. And then he beat Chris Curtis in the midst of it a year and 2 months ago. And then Sean Brady out-wrestled him. I think Gastelum's got this fight. We got smooth sailing with Gastelum. He's a decent-sized favorite. Win by decision. Makes a ton of sense. And, Finch, we're confident in the same guy here. Let's go. Doubling up. Let's go. Boom. Let's go. Let's get to our co-main event of the evening. We have Sergey Pavlovich versus Alexander Volkov. So can I say something about this fight that really has me thinking? The fact that they've trained together. The fact that it does change things, right? Otherwise, it'd be scarier to fight Pavlovich. But if you sparred him a few rounds already. Like, I feel like Volkov
recognizes, okay, if I try to box with Pavlovich and sit in the pocket, I'm going to get fucking rocked. And granted, you could say, oh, but you could figure that out just seeing it. But he's seen the shots coming. So I'm curious if he formulates a plan where it's from distance and then potentially even tying up with him a bit and more so surviving the first round, because ultimately we have to question, what is a second round Sergey Pavlovich going to look like? Oh, we saw it. He went to decision outside of the UFC. Okay. Yes. But I'm going to say something controversial. He was on steroids back then. And it's a true statement. He tested positive, and you can tell in the physique that he was taking stuff back then. Granted, I think that it's better now that he's not on. It's a different style. The gas tank about Pavlovich is a question mark. And it's not like Volkov has ever been chinny. Alexander Volkov has been knocked out one time inside of the UFC. And it was in the third round against Derek Lewis. And he got submitted by Tom Aspinall in the first round, who destroyed Pavlovich with relative ease. I mean, Volkov was in the striking more so than Pavlovich was with Tom Aspinall. Not that he was boxing him up. I think Alexander Volkov is a guy that at times is underrated. And I think people forget how dangerous he is. I think that if this fight goes beyond the 5-minute mark, things change. I think Pavlovich could be tired in the second round, and I could see him plodding. I could see him gassed out. I could see Volkov in the clinch working elbows.
This ain't a 5-round fight, bro, is it? Come on.
3 rounds. All he needs is 5 minutes. Pavlovich's gas tank is something that I have a major question mark around, man. And I don't think he has an iron chin either. And if Volkov touches him clean, I think Pavlovich could go out. I'm going to go.
Are you picking Volkov?
I'm going Volkov, dude.
Oh,
Volkov.
shit.
I think Volkov, if they go to the ground, could submit him too. I'm going Volkov inside distance.
But that's a big if. Can he take him down?
It's all about, does he survive the first round? Sure. Pavlovich first round knockout. You should have that fucking prop bet set. And then you got Volkov on the fucking underdog line.
The Volkov pick is ballsy, AJ.
Thank you,
all
bro.
right. I could tell you full man now. Those are some, that is ballsy. I like it. Yo, I see what you're saying. Absolutely. Volkov, if this was a 5-round fight, I would be more concerned. I like that Pavlovich took some months off after that Tom Aspinall loss. You know, I think this is like the right amount of time to regroup, come back, be able to look fresh. I don't have a problem with Pav's takedown defense. So in my head, it's going to be on the feet. If it does go to the ground, what a huge deal for Volkov. If Volkov could get on top of Pavlovich, make him work to get up, slow him down, take that power away, this whole thing changes. I mean, the whole thing changes. And I know the odds are kind of wide to Pav, so fucking power to you. In my head, Volkov can't get him down, and Volkov's going to be on the feet trying to kind of slow down a Pavlovich who just does more damage. So even if Volkov doesn't really want to fight, he loses the rounds. And then if he does want to exchange and get close, he gets fucking clipped. So Volkov has a chin. He has recovery. He's in shape. I'm not trying to underestimate the Volkov. I've done that before. Not trying to underestimate Volkov, but Pavlovich is one of the best heavyweights in the world just because he looked bad against Tom Aspinall. Just remember how high everybody was riding on that wave when he was beating Derek Lewis and his whole run on all the way up. You know, Pavlovich is a problem, man. I'll take him by knockout.
Pavlovich is a -229 favorite. Volkov +194. Pavlovich via first round knockout, or excuse me, just knockout straight is -160. But first round knockout for Pavlovich is actually +140. And then Volkov to win straight, right? Looking at nearly +200 for him as a dog. Volkov inside distance +340. Volkov sub at +1600. I'm going Volkov, man.
Wow.
I think he could pull it off.
Bro, Volkov sub, if he gets him down, likely.
Yeah,
likely.
That'd be crazy. We'll see what happens.
Get him down. That's the unlikely thing.
It's just, I got question marks around about Pavlovich, and you know, I'm not locking the heavyweights. I'll spoil that right now because I think that's a good way to fucking get burned. But
you saw that lock right there.
I saw that lock right there. No lock on these heavyweights for me. I got to follow my own rules.
I did fight in the XFO for Dan Lardy, and I worked for the XFO for years as their color commentator. Shout out to Dan. Look, man, it's a cool fight. I actually really like that you're on Volkov. It just made it more interesting for me. That would be a really big dog pick. That's a nice dog. I think Sergey looks good. I think he bounces back, dude. I think there's a lot of opportunity for him in the heavyweight division, and he sees that. And I think he lets his hands go.
All right. I like it. Listen, opposite sides, but I think sensible calls and breakdowns on both parts. We shall find out what goes down when these savages get in. I got to shout out Devin the Gardener. He says, yo, MMA experts, first time tuning into the live stream. What's up? What's up, Devin the Gardener? Shout out to you. Special shout out, man. Let's
Glad
go.
you guys are here live. Thank you for being with us. I know we're usually live on Monday, folks. This is a special edition for you, okay?
Yeah, I was feeling sick Monday.
No,
I'm
really?
still sick now. I thought I would feel better, but it's all right. I've been taking the airbornes, bro. I've been taking a ton of that, bro. Getting all the vitamins in possible.
See, AJ cancels the show. I don't even ask him why. That's how cool we are. He's like, yo, you want to do Wednesday instead? I'm like, no problem, man.
Let's go. Let's go. Good man. Finch.
So glad you're feeling a little bit better, buddy. Take care. Take care.
Thanks, brother, man. Let's jump to our main event of the evening. If you guys have not, smash the like button. And I am going to set out a goal for this stream. I think that it would be very powerful if we pulled off 33,000 subs during the stream. We're 18 away. Is there 18 people that haven't subscribed? I don't know. But if you're one of them, make sure you smash that subscribe button. I promise you won't be disappointed with the content. Now, let's get into it. Robert Whittaker, Ikram Aliskerov. The main event fell apart. It was supposed to be Khamzat Chimaev, Robert Whittaker, what was a massive fight. Obviously, Khamzat's health issues have been a problem, slightly maybe immunocompromised, something like that. I don't have an exact diagnosis, but that's my assumption. Aliskerov's got balls. He steps in on short notice for the biggest fight of his life. And I'm picking Ikram Aliskerov for the simple reason that even though you could say Aliskerov has never seen a Whittaker style, Whittaker's never fought a guy with the wrestling level of Aliskerov, man. And there's a question mark. What happens when Whittaker gets taken down? What happens when Aliskerov is wearing on him with big shots? What happens when Whittaker can't keep Aliskerov from pressuring him? We saw Whittaker get beaten up pretty bad against Dricus du Plessis, a strong pressure fighter who obviously has a very different style than Ikram Aliskerov. But both guys, I think, have superior takedown abilities to the Robert Whittaker side. Aliskerov's hands are heavy too, but I could see him getting touched up a bit in the feet because Whittaker is the quicker striker. I have no doubts about that. And I don't think Aliskerov auto blast double is putting Whittaker on his back immediately. I think Whittaker could fend off some takedowns. But what happens when we set in a little longer into the first round and Aliskerov sitting in with the striking and time some takedowns, puts Whittaker on his back, beats him up a little bit from top. We get to the second round, fights heating up. It's more competitive than people are thinking because I know there's a lot of love for the Whittaker side. I'm going Aliskerov by submission.
He goes from Warley Alves
Yeah.
to Rob Whittaker. Like, did they grease the wheels for this boy or what? I know he's stepping in on short notice and all that. I got it. But wow. I mean, what a gift they give some of these Dagestanis. Can we just say it like it is, man? If you got the OV, you blessed, man. I mean, this is a crazy opportunity for him.
Yeah.
I think Rob Whittaker's style makes him hard to take down. Rob Whittaker leaves his hands low. He bends his knees well. He moves well. He's on like light on his feet, side to side movement. I think he's going to be hard to get to. It's like Bull and the Matador. Like the Matador is never really behind the red cape, right? Did you see that Bull hop the fence last week and nail that woman in the red jacket? You saw that?
No.
He fucking puts her up on the horns. A Bull escaped the rodeo and fucked some people up last week. That was crazy. Why are we talking about that? I think Rob Whittaker is going to be hard to take down. Now, if you put Rob on the fence, that's interesting, right? Taking him down on the fence is possible. I haven't really seen much of it, but who's the last guy to take Rob down? But you know, this is, I think people make the mistake with Rob. They expect, not you, but they expect the Rob that showed up against that South African guy, that champ guy. You know that guy?
I know, I've heard of him.
So I think that was the exception to the rule, not the rule, right? I think we're going to get the Rob Whittaker we just got against Borichinha. I think we're going to get the Rob Whittaker who is one of the best strikers in the world. And that guy is going to be hard to get to based on the way he fights. Because if you come up with your hands up and you're moving forward, yeah, somebody could blast W. But Rob Whittaker doesn't run forward. Well, he actually does have a bit of a burst when he wants to go, but he generally moves side to side and he's light on his feet and he keeps his hands low. AJ, those are all keys to make it hard to take you down. Remember, Chuck Liddell was the class, and maybe you don't. You're younger than me. Chuck Liddell was my fucking hero. Okay, when I was like 12, that was the guy. And Chuck would fight with his hands down, and you would shoot on him, and the underhooks are right there. I think that's going to be key against Aliskerov. Aliskerov hasn't fought a guy like Rob Whittaker and hasn't fought in the UFC for 5 rounds. So a lot of this is new to him. Now, with that being said, one thing I did notice is the experience level that Aliskerov has. He's not new, like 5-0 new, right, coming into the UFC. He's got a lot of experience outside the UFC, but in this spotlight, in this moment, with only 2 weeks' notice with Rob Whittaker, I'm going to pick the former champion, Rob Whittaker. I do believe he gets 4 out of 5 rounds, is able to kickbox in this fight, move side to side, make sure that he's staying off that fence, too hard to clinch, constantly breaking clinches, and maybe not putting Aliskerov away. Maybe not putting Aliskerov away, but doing enough to win rounds like he's done against big, strong mother effers like in his last fight, right? I think Rob Whittaker can win this fight, man.
Rob Whittaker for the win for the Finch, man. Very respectable take. And I don't think you're crazy for that call. Now, as far as the betting lines, Robert Whittaker is a -155 favorite. Ikram Aliskerov around the +130 to +135 range as the underdog here. The question lies, though. Is this a fight that you bet on? Is this a main event that you're like, yo, that's a Finchman parlay call?
Woo! Give me the odds one more time.
-155, Robert Whittaker.
You guys will see in the lock and the parlays what I think to that question.
All right. If he's not giving away today.
You know, it's a considerable one. It'd be more so for the fun of it, right? It wouldn't be because I'm like, I know for a fact Rob Whittaker, right? So,
yeah,
I think it's a good fight.
Listen, Ikram, dog money here. He's live as a dog, but obviously Rob Whittaker is a fucking legend of the UFC at this point and former world champ. Whittaker to win it on the judges' scorecards is +265 with an Aliskerov submission up at +700. Wow. This is going to be fucking crazy. We're going to find out the true level of Ikram Aliskerov in this fight. If he goes out and wins, he's not only stealing Robert Whittaker's thunder, but also Khamzat Chimaev's. And Ikram Aliskerov becomes the hottest contender on the come-up right now.
Jake Beebe makes a good point here. Rob was preparing for a better wrestler. Rob was preparing for Khamzat. That prepares Rob a lot more for Aliskerov than Aliskerov did preparing for Mackenzie Dern's boyfriend.
That's fair. I mean, definitely Aliskerov had a massive jump, but he was initially supposed to fight Andre Muniz, who, I mean, granted, big fucking level jump even to Whittaker there. I really think that Ikram Aliskerov might have the goods.
Man, he's fucking good, dude.
He's good. It's a crazy fight. Good. He's a live underdog. Is it bet the house
if he knocked Rob out, I wouldn't be shocked.
I would be fucking crazy.
You know what I mean? He's fucking good, man. His striking's good. His wrestling's good.
His striking's good. His wrestling, everything's good.
It's just a crazy way to burst onto the scene. And then on 2 weeks' notice, man.
Not even. Less.
Yeah. That's why I'm going Rob. Hey, I missed the dono. Our only dono of the whole show. You guys got cheap on us? What's going on? Is Joe Biden's economy not working for you? What's going on, folks? Luis Rodriguez, we appreciate it. He respects the hustle. Much luck on the picks. I appreciate it. Much luck to you, Mr. Rodriguez.
Let's go. We appreciate you. Listen, guys, we're not done yet. Those are the predictions, but we still got more to deliver for you savages. We're about to jump into the fame section, the fan favorite section, the lock of the night. UFC Saudi Arabia lock of the night segment brought to you by Hit and Move. Check them out. Get the gloves from them. I'm still waiting on mine, Finch. I'm still waiting.
Yeah. Sorry about that. That is all my fault.
I'm just gonna keep saying it every show until I get a year goes by.
It'll be 2026. They'll show up at your door.
2026, we'll have them, and I'm very excited in 2026 to be rocking these gloves, man.
My bad.
You're good, my brother. You're good. Listen, guys. the lock time, obviously the floor goes to Finchman first. So what are you cooking up for us, man? What do we got for the lock?
Ooh, I gotta be honest, man. I love the Kelvin Gastelum over D-Rod pick. Is that too wide for lock of the night,
No.
guys? Let me be honest with you. That is a bettable fight for me. And that sucks because I'm supposed to be biased for D-Rod, right? I'm probably gonna see him after this fight, but he could beat me up in person. I got Kelvin Gastelum as my lock of the night.
Kelvin's a great call. You know, a question that I was asking myself pre-show is like, man, do I go for the most valuable money line as the lock, or do I go for a lock that I really see winning? And I sat on it for a few hours before I came to my final conclusion. I said, you know what? I'm going to go with a true lock. But what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to add in a new segment to this week's Best MMA Bets, which actually I did last week subtly, which is the most valuable money line. Not going to go for a most valuable money line. I'm going with Mike Finch on Kelvin Gastelum because I really believe you have to see the advantage. Come on. Gastelum's going to win.
And there are a lot of people who are like, oh, we're on the fence about this one. I don't know. Even if the striking isn't working out, Kelvin has the wrestling, right? So we got to think Kelvin Gastelum can get this thing done everywhere the fight goes. It could be the most lopsided fight on the card.
Definitely could. Gastelum shows up 176, misses weight. I'm jumping off.
Hey, he looked good at 85. I just said he went fucking toe-to-toe with Cannonier. Like, you know, he could do this, man. Again, I've seen him spar Marvin Vettori hard fucking rounds. Like, nothing D-Rod's going to do is going to surprise him, guys.
I agree. Listen, we're both going Kelvin Gastelum. I think a quality lock and somebody that both of us see definitely getting their hand raised. Now, we're going to run it up to our next segment. The Parlay King himself is, I guess technically sitting across from me, right? Virtually. So let's jump to the parlays.
All the competition that try to compete, stand back, watch the bomb drop.
Parlay time. Open up your wallets and let's bet on some fist fights.
Yeah, it's parlay time. Shara Magomedov has one eye, but he's got one knockout Saturday night. I didn't know where to go with that. That was horrible. Shara Magomedov is going to win by knockout, folks. Is that a prop? Should I fucking throw the prop down with the KO? Can I request from AJ the fucking odds extraordinaire? Shara Magomedov KO is what?
I'm gonna have to dig the fucking internet.
You could dig. Look, Shara Magomedov money line. I'm probably not gonna fucking go with it anyway because it's a parlay, folks. And honestly, a lot of these fights are fucking competitive. A lot of these fights are interesting. I even have like a little bit of faith in Nicolas Dalby. I wanted to go Renat Fakhretdinov. You're not crazy to throw that in the parlay, so I'll keep it nice and conservative. Shara Magomedov and Kelvin Gastelum. You got to be coming out somewhere close to some even money, and it's just a high confidence one. Shara Magomedov and Kelvin is a parlay.
Minus 150 for Shara Magomedov and Kelvin Gastelum there, which I think it does hit. I think Shara Bullet is a tremendous piece. I don't have a knockout prop yet. I don't have any prop odds for that fight, but we'll find out tomorrow, and then we'll see where it's at. But that is a quality parlay, I think. So I am going to not put the lock in. I want to do something different, but I do think Shara Magomedov in your lineup is definitely a quality call, and he's going to be somebody that I'm also going to put on mine. I think Shara Magomedov, right? And then you mix it in with a value call of Muhammad Naimov to get it done. And then the Gordon Haqparast fight, I got an inkling that it's going 3 rounds. I think plus 215, that's pretty live. Obviously, you don't need that over. That's just a little extension. Shara Bullet Naimov is plus 117. So now you're getting plus money territory for that one. I also was even thinking if you're looking to really go for odds, you go Chang Ho Lee plus 345. I see those as 3 winners.
Fucking dope to me, man. Going up and down the card, so many of these are great fights. I'm so excited to watch this card because I want to see some excellent matchups. So if you guys want to have some fun with this is one of those cards where I might put $5 on somebody by knockout just to have some more fun watching it. I do like a lot of these matchups. As far as betting is concerned, off my top of my head, I liked Fakhretdinov. I like Kelvin Gastelum. I like Magomedov. I like Sergey Pavlovich. But AJ hyped up Volkov so much I got nervous. So I'm going to stick with Kelvin and I'm going to stick with Magomedov. those got to be the best locks. And at -150, very playable. But I like it, AJ. I like your calls, man. There are some phenomenal matchups on this Saudi card. Even though it got shook up, it's going to deliver.
I think a great call if you look at Finchman's lock parlay, and then if you want to add a value extension, somebody like Naimov or Lee is a good piece to bring you a little higher into that plus money territory, man. Shout out to Unknown. AJ, we're going to eat Shara, Ikram, Sergey, Naimov. Listen, great luck on that one, my man. We appreciate the two. I think you just you put it in the wishing well, and it's going to come true.
Yeah, AJ's on fucking Volkov, so chill on the Sergey, bro. You're eating with me then. You're not even at AJ's fucking table.
He also got Ikram though, so he's at neither of our tables, I guess, with that parlay.
Oh, fair enough. All
Yeah.
right. All right. Ikram Aliskerov might win this fucking fight. Do I want to see that? Like,
I don't know. Whatever's meant to happen shall is my thought process, you know?
So fucking pissed. You believe in that shit? Things are meant to happen.
You know I'm fucking very philosophical, Mike. You know my style. I'm a philosophical guy, bro. But that's why I think we make the dynamic duo, because I think it's better that you're not. If you were two, it wouldn't be good for the show.
You know, you got to have a little bit of opposites going on.
I agree.
Hey, we even got Trócoli by sub in the chat. The chat's going fucking crazy.
Mackenzie Dern in the corner. That's the secret.
Oh my good Mackenzie, welcome to the chat. Unknown, thanks for that $2. Damn, if you guys win some bets on Saturday, could you come back, please? Jesus Christ, I feel like there are some tough ones. So don't go betting the fucking house on Trócoli, dude. Like, you know, some of these fights are going to be pretty good, and I don't think you'll get that one. You know, in Bellator, it was a thing where like the wider the odds were, the more interesting it was to bet an underdog. Yeah. Not true in the UFC.
Not so much. Now, Finch, question mark. Are you going live after this?
Fuck yeah.
Good. All right. I'm going to put the Mike Finch link for you guys. Finch, you've been killing it with those most confident picks, bro.
So much.
It's become a staple show, man.
It's all AJ fucking hyping me up to do it and then making the fucking thumbnails. So if you're making a story thumbnail, blame AJ, okay?
It looked a little better, but maybe I got to make a new graphic or something.
I don't know. Somebody was complaining about it. I'm going to talk Mike Perry versus Jake fucking Paul in 15 minutes. I'll see you on my channel.
Let's go. Guys, make sure you check out Finchman's channel. I got it linked up in the live chat for all you savages, and show him some love. I appreciate everybody. We appreciate you all. Smash the subscribe button. Let's see. Did we get close to the goal? I don't know if we hit it. It was a big ask. You know what? 32,987. We're only 13 away from 33K. So I think it's live to be hit tomorrow. So very exciting day forthcoming, man.
Do it, guys. There's 13 of you who didn't like the fucking thing. Go subscribe.
Let's go. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. This week's Best MMA Bets dropping tomorrow. I was waiting to get all the props so I can give you guys the best breakdown possible, man. Check out Finchman after this. Like I said, linked up in the chat. And we'll see you all in the next one. Peace out and good night.